Hey everyone, welcome to Touchualize. It's me. So I'm showing this shot I recorded earlier just so that you can get a different perspective on the glove, just because it's hard to see in the videography later. But people were unclear on how it worked, so I thought I'd go in more in depth. So here's just sort of an overview shot of the whole thing. So the way it works is there's a battery that gives power to a potentiometer knob, and that sits on the elbow just so that when you move your elbow up and down or bend your elbow back and forth, it then feeds into a wireless channel. Then when you get down to the glove, it sends its batteries that essentially feed into servos and bend sensors, and then the servos get their information from a receiver and the bend sensors go to a transmitter. And here's the setup that's at the computer. So there's a receiver for the fingers and the elbow, and those feed into one Arduino that go into the computer. Those are all on analog. So then that goes into the simulation. That comes out of the simulation then is these outputs when you collide with the objects in it. That goes to the wireless transmitter, and then that goes to the glove servos. So this is how long it takes to put on the arm. You can see that the straps are a little tough to get started, but it sits on them pretty well. It takes about 4 minutes and a half. That's not the longest part of the process though. I'll talk about that later. And so I'm just sort of showing these moves off here. You can sort of get an idea that it sits on there pretty well. So here I just want to show off the amalgamation of wires that connects to the computer. So you plug in the one Arduino first, make sure that's the one that goes in first, the one that sends in information, because otherwise it will crash, and then you plug in the second one that transmits. So yeah, of course I made a diagram for this, because that's just chaotic to look at. So here's the thing that took me the longest. This usually doesn't take that long. You want to connect your Wiimotes, so you just slap enter there and you try to connect it to the Bluetooth, but it has none of it. And that hardware failure must have been going on for 15 minutes. Anyway, I want to show off it in motion, and if you're paying attention closely enough, you'll see that the way the hand moves, there's a bug with it. The hand does not move at all in motion with the arm. It's the rotation from the shoulder sort of spins the hand in weird ways, and so I have a lot of trouble with that later on. And if I had more time, I'd fix it, but you know, I'm kind of done with this, which I'll get into later. But please enjoy this montage of me petting different animals with Touchualize. Okay, for the second part of the video, I just want to talk about the idea in general and what I would have done differently had I been given more resources, time, money, you know. So first, let's take a look at my Piazza post right now. It was called Improving Haptic Feedback for Games. I sort of took a look at the smallest fingertip type of sensation things and then sort of backed up. Mine is a lot like the Dexmo actually, and yeah, you can read that in detail if you want. Just slow down the video and sort of read it bit by bit. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the Dexmo gloves. We'll come back to the Dexmo gloves.